Not only do we have their fascinating thoughts on video, we have all three of those amazing individuals here with us tonight. I will call their name and ask each one to stand. First, Joanna Foster. Thank you, Ms. Foster. The second person is Charles Todd Johnson, and I want to add just a little bit of extra flavor or color. What you may not know is that he grew up in Topeka, Kansas. His sister-in-law was the first petitioner in the seminal Brown v. Board of Education course. So he really was a part of history. And then to bring things full circle, his kindergarten teacher was Ruby McKnight Williams. So this is truly a small world. So, will Charles Johnson please stand? Thank you, Mr. Johnson. And to go a little bit off script, because I like to go off script, we have a fourth centenarian here this evening that I serendipitously found out during our break. We have Ruby Jones over there, who is 101 years old, born in Beaumont, Texas. And would she please take a bow? Ruby Jones from Beaumont, Texas, 101. We are extremely honored to have four centenarians here with us. Our fourth and final centenarian is Miss Annie Williams, and we are going to ask a question of her. And Miss Williams, could you share with us your thoughts on the following? As a child, what were your dreams for what you wanted to be when you grew up? And was there anyone who helped or hurt you in your pursuit of your dreams?
My husband would put a check stub in his pocket to show that my money was $700 a week working at Lockheed Aircraft. So California has been good to me.
Thank you so much, Ms. Williams. Please give her a wonderful round of applause. I was asked to mention that that was filmed on an iPhone, the video, and we're much appreciative of the team that put that together. I'd like to briefly recognize our team that put together the video. Flo Anang, Alma Stokes, and Sam Yarborough, who, as you may have seen in the video, conducted the interviews and flawlessly handled the accompanying logistics. So again, our thanks, and we are truly graced and blessed to have the presence of four amazing centenarians. So again, thank you so much to all of you for making it out this evening. We are greatly appreciative of your efforts and of your lives. Our next part of our program is the AXO and scholarship recipients, and Juanita West Tillman will recognize and acknowledge the recipients.
Thank you, Danny. This is a really special, important part of the program for me because we highlight our young people. And I wanted to ask our scholarship recipients to please stand if there are any in the house. If not, I believe a couple of parents are here. So if you're here, parents, please stand. Parents didn't arrive? Oh, wonderful. We do have the Mannings here. We are really proud. We're proud of our amazing students in this city, and we do all that we can to support them. I want to also ask our AXO participants to please stand, all of you who are here. And then Jordan Patton in particular has been mentioned as this is an amazing young man. You need to get to know him. He's going places. Thank you, Jordan. Then we have our ambassadors, beautiful children who come, or students who come to help us every year. Are they still here or did they have to leave? I guess they're gone. What about the MPYD young men? Did you see them in their suits helping to escort people in? We love them. We support them. We're very proud of them. And then we have the mother and grandmother of Miss Michael Wilkins here, who was just selected as part of the Queen's Court, Rose Queen's Court. So with the mother and grandmother, please just stand and take a bow. You've done an amazing job of raising her. Thank you. Michael couldn't be here with us tonight because she's at the Rose Bowl doing her duties as a princess. And I believe that's all we have. Thank you. Oh, one more thing. Now, they talked about how, I do all this planning. Well, I want to dance tonight when this is over, so I'm taking a point of privilege and inviting you to come over to the California room across the way to dance when we're done.
We will all be looking as you go down the Soul Train line. So tonight we are honoring an amazing group of honorees who give of themselves to enrich the community and make it such a wonderful place to live, work, and play. Our first honoree is Arzella Valentine, who will be receiving the Ruby McKnight Williams Award. A native of Arkansas, like so many Stanford folk. I can't play it off, just wait. Like so many Pasadenans, Mrs. Valentine is a native of Arkansas. She is a longtime pillar of this community. She and her husband, Fred Valentine, owned and built the iconic Woods Valentine Mortuary. A licensed funeral director, she currently serves as president of Woods Valentine Mortuary. She has volunteered extensively with many local organizations. Her numerous awards reflect the appreciation for her efforts. She received a degree at PCC and sharpened her writing skills at UCLA. And we have a little brief musical tribute for her. And Mrs. Valentine makes all of us smile with our hearts. She is a warm, caring person who exudes charm and grace, and we are all enriched to know her and have her in our lives. Accepting her award on behalf of Mrs. Valentine is her daughter, Gail Valentine Taylor.
Mother is not able to join us here, but I want you all to know that at 92, that she is still blessed and being a blessing to others. She couldn't really muster up the energy tonight to come, but she can always muster up energy for guests. So if you're able, go by and visit her. She loves company. I have something to read that she asked me to read for her, that she wrote, and here it goes. Tonight, due to a problem health-wise, it saddens me that I cannot be with you in person to receive this wonderful award. I am truly proud to have been a life member of the NAACP for many years, along with my late husband, Fred W. Valentine. Our business, Woods Valentine Mortuary, also has a life membership. We enjoyed being a part of this iconic organization that improves lives and benefits so many. This award is meaningful to me because it gives honor to a great lady and community leader, Ruby McKnight Williams. I loved and had a great respect for her. It was through her friendship and encouragement that I became involved as a volunteer with the Pasadena branch of the NAACP many, many moons ago. She taught me much, and I will never forget her. Our business has served this great community for more than 90 years. The NAACP, thank God. The NAACP and its members have helped make that possible. Thanks for giving me this honor, and I send my love to all of you. Arzella J. Valentine. Thank you. I'd just like to take a minute to ask all of our family, friends, and staff who came here in her honor to stand, please. Thank you all. Love you.
Thank you so much, Gail. Our next award, Gail. Our next award is the Arts Award. It goes to Floyd Norman. An entertainment industry veteran, Floyd Norman precociously began his career in high school with Archie Comics. After learning the animation business at Walt Disney Studios, he formed his own production company and then later worked on various projects that included TV commercials, animations, and work at some of the leading animation studios. He recently returned to Disney Animation after a 10-year absence. He declares that he has no plans to retire and that he plans to, quote, die at the drawing board. Please join me in welcoming Floyd Norman, our Arts Award winner.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you to the Pasadena NAACP for this recognition and your generosity. I want to say I find it odd being given honors and awards for having a job that's really what I consider the best job in the world. Working with some of the most amazing people in the world. That, of course, includes Walt Disney. Had the opportunity to work with the old man himself, and don't you dare call him a racist. He was not. Anyway, as I said, I almost feel guilty accepting awards because at this ripe old age of 84, and I am an old codger now, 84 years old, I look back on my career and I don't feel like I've accomplished that much. When I was a kid, I had dreams and I had a very high bar. And when I turned about the age of 80, I looked back on my career and I was somewhat disappointed because I felt I hadn't quite reached as high as I wanted to go. But at the Walt Disney Studio, we have this thing called Disney Legend. It's a big deal at Disney. It's based on your body of work at the studio, and they give this prestigious award to those who they feel are deserving. So not too long ago, I posed for a photograph with some amazing colleagues, and I realized that I had my arms around three amazing young women. The beautiful and talented Anika Noni Rose, the amazing Whoopi Goldberg, and the incredible Oprah Winfrey. So I figured I was in pretty good company. And maybe I had perhaps done okay after all. Thank you very much.
And you gotta love that hat. He's working it, clearly. Our next award is a community award. It goes to Pablo Alvarado. Pablo Alvarado has dedicated himself to improving the lives of migrants in the United States. His years of work as a day laborer gave him firsthand knowledge of the lowest rungs of society. That experience inspired him to found several organizations that support day laborers. His work has earned him numerous awards and well-deserved recognition. Two of his most prestigious accolades were, in 2004, the Ford Foundation's Leadership for a Changing World program recognized him. In 2005, Time magazine named him one of the 25 most influential Hispanics in the United States. Please join me in welcoming Pablo Alvarado.
Buenas noches. First, I'd like to thank the workers who served this delicious meal tonight. It is certainly an honor to be here tonight, and I am thankful for this recognition. I strongly believe that this recognition doesn't belong to me. It's to my colleagues, some of them who are sitting here tonight, Manuel, Angela, Julieta, my colleagues from POP, and my beautiful daughter, Sofia. But most of all is for the men and women whom every day toil in the fields, in the construction sites, the people who keep the gardens green and the houses painted, those who create wealth with their labor. They are the ones who deserve this recognition. Every time that I have the opportunity to talk to migrants about the legacy of the civil rights movement, I remind people the reason why we don't sit in the back of the bus, why there are bedrock civil rights protections that everyone enjoys, why there is no segregation, and why people of color can register and exercise their right to vote. And every time I remind people of that, I tell them that it's because of you, the mighty NAACP. And in the words of a very famous Brazilian educator, Paulo Freire, he said that the oppressed will liberate the oppressor. I think that is exactly what the African community has done. And the freedoms, the constitutional rights, protections that you want are gifts to us all, to everyone, to white women, to Asian, gays, Latino, transgender, and worker communities everywhere. Thank you so much. But now more than ever, the NAACP is needed. As a matter of fact, if you look around our country, a lot of our institutions are very fragile. And I want to say this, that after 100 years, the NAACP stands alone as an enduring, the most enduring institution. And we Latinos, immigrants, we have to learn from what you've done. And I humbly ask for your help, because it's not going well for us, as you already know. Let me share one story. Back in 2010, when we were fighting the infamous anti-immigrant law in Arizona and the infamous Sheriff Joe Arpaio, I had the fortune of receiving a call from former Congress member John Conyers. And he said, "Pablo, this guy reminds me of Bull Connor." That's what he told me. And then he saw that he was moving to take away the protections, the racial profile protections that had been won. So he said, "I want to hold a briefing, a hearing here in Washington, D.C. to denounce white supremacy." We did a briefing in D.C., and he requested a DOJ investigation on Sheriff Joe Arpaio. And it was because of that action and because of the social movement and the protest in Arizona that Joe Arpaio is no longer the sheriff of Maricopa County. Of course, we face serious threat right now, and we have to call it by what it is. The executive branch has been hijacked by a handful of white supremacists. People who are profoundly fearful of the demographic changes that our country is experiencing. And they shouldn't be afraid, because there's no hatred in our hearts. But think about when they're in the coming months, they're going to try to suppress the vote. They're going to continue stigmatizing organizations like Black Lives Matter. And they will continue to engage in ritual of humiliations like the one we saw in Texas of 2 police officers parading a man of color. We're going to see more of that. So we got to stand together. And let me close it with this. Because the threat is not only in there, the threat is also here. Last week, a worker came to me and he said, my rent is being raised $300 and I'm going to move out. And that is a matter of racial justice in our city. And I don't accept the justification from the political class to come and tell us the market is going to fix it, because that is not the case. A week and a half ago, here in our city, 3 schools were ordered shut down by the school board. Schools in the Northwest. That is also a matter of racial justice, and it cannot go unchallenged. Thank you so much. Long live the NAACP.
Thank you, Pablo. Our next honoree is Dr. Yahya Abdul Rahman. He receives the Education Award. Dr. Yahya Abdul Rahman founded the Lariba Banking Group, LBG, and serves as chairman of the board and CEO of Lariba Bank of Whittier. His extensive accomplishments include authoring 2 books on interfaith banking, co-founding the world's first pilot interfaith movement in 1978 with the Catholic Church and the Islamic Center of Southern California. He served as an invited imam around the world, served as chairperson of the Islamic Shura Council of Southern California, the umbrella organization of over 65 Islamic centers and over 600,000 Muslims in Southern California. He helped to found many Muslim community centers and schools. He's been a frequent lecturer, and he's been a volunteer in the management of nonprofit and faith-based organizations. Please join me in welcoming the Dr. Abdul Rahman. Okay, sorry he's not here tonight. We will get him his award and his recognition later. We now move on to our 5th awardee. It is the Youth Award to Jordan Patton. He is a senior at Marshall Fundamental Secondary School. Jordan Patton has been active in school as well as community activities. He enjoys drawing and creating compelling fictional stories that embody themes close to his heart: truth, perseverance, and equity. His paper for the VIP's summer program at UCLA, entitled America's Unjust Criminal Justice System, was later improved with the assistance of a writing expert mentor, and it won a gold medal at the local NAACP AXO competition in Duarte. At the national competition in Detroit, he won a silver medal. Jordan appreciates the specific AXO mentor support as well as the general benefits of participating in the AXO competition. Please join me in welcoming our hope for the future, Jordan Patton.
Thank you everyone for coming out tonight. First and foremost, I want to thank God Almighty for giving me this wonderful opportunity to express myself in my original essay. Secondly, I would like to thank the NAACP and the ACSO program for allowing me to go to Detroit and to express my intentions and my great values. I would also like to thank my wonderful parents sitting right here today for giving me the wonderful resources and opportunities that I needed to write this essay and to advocate for change in the criminal justice system. I would also like to thank my mentor who cannot be here today, Ms. Cooper Smith, who helped me write this essay and perfect it to its uttermost perfection. And I would like to thank that wonderful group of teachers sitting over there from Marshall Fundamental, teachers and staff over there, for being my greatest supporters and my greatest mentors in this journey. And I just want to thank them so much for that. Now I want to get into the issue of mass incarceration and how this issue needs to be addressed, especially amongst my generation. So there are 3 things that we need to do in order to fix the amount of exonerations, the cash bail system that puts people of socioeconomic background at a disadvantage. We need to vote in 2020. We need to vote for people that will have our values at hand and make sure that we are protected and that our people are not going to be killed in the streets for doing absolutely nothing. We need to reform. We need to implement mandatory bias training for these judges and practitioners so that they will not be using their mindset and convicting these defendants. We cannot have racism within the criminal justice system. It needs to be fair and equitable at all costs. And finally, in the words of Langston Hughes in his poem, "Let America Be America Again," in which I did a great reenactment for my AP literature class, we need to make America again. We need to make this country with the diversity that we have today. And for my last shout out, I just want to shout out Marshall for one, being the home school of 2 royal court princesses. Yeah. And finally, as of tonight, being the home school of the NAACP Youth Award recipient. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jordan. Future is in good hands. Our next award is the Civic Award. It goes to Philip A. Washington. He is the LA County Metropolitan Transportation Authority Board of Directors unanimously selected Philip A. Washington as CEO on March 12, 2015. And when you hear what he manages, you will be quite impressed. He manages a total balanced budget of $7.2 billion for fiscal year 2020. He oversees over $18 billion in capital projects, manages an agency with nearly 11,000 employees that transport 1.2 million passengers daily on a fleet of 2,000 clean air buses and 6 rail lines. As the lead transportation agency for LA County, LA Metro represents the largest public works program in America. Through funding from Measure M that Mr. Washington helped get passed, LA Metro will build 40 major highway and transit projects that will create 778,000 jobs and provide $133 billion in regional economic impact over the next 40 years. We are grateful he came to us from Denver, where he had quite an accomplished career. His assignments and honors have been as enviable as numerous and as they are prestigious. A 24-year Army veteran who reached the rank of Command Sergeant Major, he holds a BA in Business from Columbia College, an MA in Management from Webster University, and he graduated from Harvard's Kennedy School for Senior Executives in State and Local Government. Please join me in welcoming Philip A. Washington.
Well, thank you so much, and let me just acknowledge the work that the NAACP does for many, many years. The Centurions tonight, I want to acknowledge them. We're standing on their shoulders, big time. Give them another hand, please. Our Metro Board members are here. Our chair had to leave, Mayor Butts from Inglewood. John Fasana is still here. I want to thank them. Catherine Barger was here as well. I want to thank her. And I want to thank the staff members from Metro that are here tonight. And I didn't even make them come. They actually wanted to come. So let me just also recognize and honor all of the honorees tonight. And Jordan, the young man, our future, I want to acknowledge him as well. So infrastructure in this country, it's very, very important that we be involved in infrastructure. After all, we help build this country. Black and brown people help build this country. And so what we are saying at Metro, with the help of our board, is that black and brown people should again help build this country. This is an economic development program. We are standing at the vanguard. We are advocating for a national infrastructure bill. Not just a national infrastructure bill that just builds things, but a national infrastructure bill at the federal level that looks at communities of color as a priority as they weigh the amount of the infrastructure bill and as they designate where that money goes. And so we are looking at and building a transportation school for our kids, grades 9 to 12, right in LA. We are focusing on those opportunity use in that transportation school, grades 9 to 12, a boarding school concept that will focus on kids in the foster care system, kids in low-income communities, kids that have been a part of the justice system, kids that may have gone astray. We are going to teach those kids infrastructure and how to build things so they can take that skill anywhere in the world and build infrastructure. We are pushing ahead on our small and minority businesses programs. We are saying that no longer should minority and business program or minority and business owners be subs, but they should prime those projects and the traditional primes sub to them. We are focusing on equity. Our board approved what we call an equity platform in infrastructure to say that as we build infrastructure, we will look through the lens of equity as we build that infrastructure. And all you have to do is look at the highways around the country that were built and they tore communities apart. Black and brown communities were told to move out in 30 days so a highway can come through. What we are saying now is that we will look through the lens of equity as we build the rail lines, improve the highways right here in LA County, and we will make sure that equity is a priority as we build those programs and projects. So thank you so much for having me here. Again, I want to thank the NAACP for the work that you do. I grew up in the movement. As a child, my mother took me to the rallies. I grew up in the 1960s. I listened to the speakers. I was there at Marquette Park in Chicago, Illinois in 1967 when Martin Luther King was hit in the head with a rock. You remember that? And so this movement and being a member of the NAACP myself this becomes very, very important to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Washington, for that inspiration and insight. Our next award is the President's Award. It goes to Laura Farber. She is an amazingly warm and accomplished person. She is the first Latina president of the Tournament of Roses. As such, she will be leading the 131st Rose Parade and the 106th Rose Bowl game on January 1st, 2020. She joined the tournament in 1993 and was elected to the executive committee in 2012. She practices civil litigation as a partner with Hahn & Hahn here in Pasadena. She serves on numerous legal committees and boards, as well as with several nonprofits. Her awards include being named one of the top 50 lawyers in Los Angeles, the Spirit of Excellence Award from the American Bar Association's Committee on Ethnic and Racial Diversity in the Profession, and the YMCA San Gabriel Valley Women of Excellence in the Law Award. A native of Buenos Aires, Argentina, she earned her bachelor's degree from UCLA and her JD from Georgetown. Her national and international travel schedule as tournament president sounds exhausting, and her presence at so many, many local events is much appreciated. Please join me in welcoming Laura Farber.
It's an honor to be here, and I want to congratulate the NAACP on its 100-year anniversary, something to be so incredibly proud of. And it gives me great pleasure to be here on behalf of the Pasadena Tournament of Roses Association, and I'd like to thank and acknowledge the members that we have here tonight supporting this amazing organization. If you could please stand up, I'd appreciate it. All of the members, there's others at other tables too. Thank you for being here. And thank you for the support that you've given me. And I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge my amazing spouse, Tomas Lopez, who has been with me throughout this entire journey this year. This is not possible without a partner or a spouse, because we do spend a little bit of time doing outreach beyond this community. And I must tell you, it has been so impactful to see in what esteem and regard the Rose Parade and the Rose Bowl game and the city of Pasadena is held, not just in this community and not just in this state or in this country, but around the world. This is such a special, amazing event that changes lives, and I never realized that impact until we started to travel. Students and youth who have never left their towns, their cities, their countries, or their states, who have never gotten on an airplane, who are going to perform on the biggest international stage of their lives and will change their lives for the positive, for the better, and even having economic impact in their communities, where their communities get together to practice for this great event and support their local businesses who've asked, what are we going to do when they finish the Rose Parade? I said, you'll find another project for the band. It'll be wonderful. But it's really been incredible. And another thing that has been incredible is seeing a message that we've had the luxury of choosing. I was chosen for this job 2012, so I've been planning for a bit. This year's theme is the power of hope, el poder de la esperanza. And if you look in your boxes on your table, you will see a pin, and hopefully, if you haven't opened it yet, take it out and put it on, because this is a pin that is our theme pin. The reason it's round is because hope is never ending and continuous. This is not a shape that we usually use, but this has meaning, and I would love for you to wear this proudly. The power of hope has been very well received this year. I want to share a little bit about how the theme came to be. As you heard, I was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and I was born at a time when things were very bad in Argentina. It's pre-dirty war. Really, really serious human rights violations that made it very difficult. And my parents made the very difficult decision that they were going to leave everything and everyone they knew to start a new life, because this country represented a beacon of hope. This country represented the freedoms of religion, of speech, to pursue your educational and career opportunities that were not available then there. And so they did that, and I'm so thankful. I'm a very proud immigrant. My husband from the Dominican Republic, different time frame, same situation with the dictator Trujillo, who was in power at the time. His family immigrated to New York. And so we are very proud immigrants, and this theme is about that, but much more. It's about how hope can change lives, and that hope is dignity and respect. It's aspiration and achievement and joy and happiness. And with hope, you can aspire to do better, and you can inspire others to reach higher. And hope never quits. You control it. That's the beauty of it, and no one can take it away from you. And with hope, anything, in fact, everything is possible. And that has been our message across the board. Whether you're a football player that's going to come in our game and wants a personal best and is going to have joy winning the game, or your parents who hope you're not going to get hurt in the process, or educators, band leaders, and others who hope music will change people's lives, or those that travel and come see us and hope that America's New Year celebration will bring a very divided country and divided world together to realize the humanity and the importance of what we can do when we see each other as humans. And it's such an honor to be here and share this with our community, our beautiful, diverse, lovely, amazing community that the world is going to see. So thank you so much for this amazing honor. I'm so proud to be here, to be part of this community, to be part of the Tournament of Roses, and to be sharing this beautiful evening with you. Thank you so much.
And I have to mention that Laura, a little birdie told me that one of the things you happen to like is Motown music. I happen to share that enjoyment, and as a little bit of a brief adrenaline boost, we're going to have Motown's all-time biggest party song, a little 30 seconds of adrenaline. From those of us seasoned enough to remember 1966, we have 30 seconds of adrenaline. That was Function at the Junction by Shorty Long, for those who wonder. Our next, two quick housekeeping things. We mentioned elected officials earlier. We have 2 field reps for Pasadena City Council persons. Susanna Porras, the field rep for Councilmember John Kennedy. And Vanya de la Cuba, field rep for Victor Gordo, was here earlier. I believe she's still here. Our next award is to Kaiser Permanente School of Medicine. The Kaiser Permanente School of Medicine will be welcoming its charter class of 48 students in July 2020 in its under construction Pasadena location 1 block from here. The med school will emphasize small groups, case-based learning, leveraging technology, clinical training beginning in year 1, holistic approaches that emphasize the challenges inherent in underrepresented communities, or under-resourced communities, and diversity. Their thoughtful, cutting-edge approach will make us all proud as we welcome Pasadena's first med school. And we will have a representative from Kaiser joining us.
Good evening. My name is Julie Miller-Phipps. I'm the president of Kaiser Permanente for Southern California. Thank you. Thank you. That's so kind of you. We are so excited to be a part of this event tonight, and I just want to really start by congratulating the NAACP. 100 years strong, and you can feel the energy and the hope. Hope was such a terrific word to use. You can feel the energy, the inspiration, and hope in this room tonight. It's so great when the community comes together and we can feel that collective force. So next year we're celebrating our 75th anniversary. So we're just the new kids, the young kids on the block, I guess. Our medical school, we are thrilled to have our medical school in the city of Pasadena. We couldn't be more excited to be opening it. If you haven't seen it going up, the building's going to be amazing. We want you to come and stroll through it when it gets opened. It'll open in the springtime. It's at the corner of Green Street and Los Robles. You're not going to be able to miss it. It's going to be a really cool, inviting building. Our medical school is going to be very unique. We are starting with 48 students. We will grow to 96 students. But our school is going to teach physicians of the future the way that we practice and we believe in what our value system is in Kaiser Permanente. And that's to treat all people in the best way possible, with the highest quality, the best care experience at an affordable cost, and to raise and uplift the communities that you serve. And so our physicians who are trained in that school will reflect the community that we serve. They will learn at our hospitals, in our medical offices, about what it's like to become a Permanente physician and to practice in the communities that we're serving all over Southern California. So we're thrilled to have that. We were a little nervous to make sure that we got the word out about the school and that we would have a great first class, and we so far have over 10,000 applications for 48 slots. Now, part of that might be because the first 5 classes will come through the school and graduate from the school tuition free. And so that's gotten a lot of attention. We wanted to remove that as a barrier so that no one who has a passion for medicine has that as a barrier to their ability to come and go through and become a physician. So Jordan, if you're interested in medical school, keep us in mind later on. But with that, I just really want to say it's such a privilege and an honor to be recognized with this esteemed group of people that we have heard about tonight. We are so proud to be a part of this community, and we hope to be here another 75 years along with the NAACP. So thank you.
Thank you for that, and welcome, Kaiser, to Pasadena. Our next award is the Small Business Award. It goes to Little Red Hen. Barbara Shea, the CEO, will be accepting. Barbara Shea runs Little Red Hen, a restaurant she describes as organic foods without being preachy, traditional menus, and after 50 years of service, one of the oldest Black-owned businesses in Altadena. Ms. Shea took over the business founded by her mother and run for years by her brother. She cleverly notes that her cooking helps to put her displaced hostility in a pot and mix it up. Her cooking show, Cutting It Up in the Kitchen, airs on Pasadena Media and YouTube. Her mission is to provide homemade comfort food and to keep her mother's dream alive, and that's what drives her. Please join me in welcoming Barbara Shea.
Hello and greetings. It is my pleasure, and I'm totally surprised and shocked that I'm here, standing here, but I want to give the credit to God and thank my mother, Rena Shea, for instilling in all of us to do a job well done and keep it moving. 50 years in service, it's been a total dedication. And it is my pleasure to step in and keep her dream alive. It's hard work, as you guys know, in the restaurant. It's unforgiving, but it's totally my pleasure. And I expect to be here as long as possible to serve, keep giving out good food made from love and from my heart. And I hope to see all of you there at one time, sooner or later. And again, thank you. I have to keep it to a minute, even though, but at any rate, it is just unbelievable, the attention, the accolades that's been bestowed upon the Little Red Hen. I really can't take the credit because it belongs to God. I'm just an instrument here doing His good work. And food is a wonderful thing to show your appreciation to. And I thank you guys all for for consideration. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. Our next award is a Faith Cultural Award, and it goes to Imam J.D. Hall. For the past 40 years, Imam J.D. Hall has worked as a professional actor, writer, director, and voiceover artist. He has acted in numerous TV shows. He has written award-winning plays, as well as directed and performed in Shakespearean classics. He has provided voice work on more than 500 TV shows and films, as well as for multiple Disney projects. Inspired by a role in a play, in 1979 he visited the Islam Center of Southern California and has been studying, striving, and growing in Islam ever since. His primary occupation now is Islam, and he performs the daily task assigned by Allah to the best of his ability. Please join me in welcoming Imam J.D. Hall.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Subhanallah. Assalamu alaikum. In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful, glory to God, I wish you peace. In Islam, we have a principle of belief that is called qadr in Arabic. The English translation is destiny. We believe by this principle that Allah, God, wrote a destiny for every particle of his creation. And I thank God that he put this award in my scroll of destiny. And I thank him that he chose the NAACP to be the deliverer of that award, because they work from their inception to find justice for people who suffer from injustice. And this is the work that God would have all of his creation do, is to rectify injustice wherever and however we can. So with that, I would like to say that Allah says in his book, وَأَسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ وَإِنَّهَا لَكَبِيرَةٌ إِلَّا عَلَى الْخَاشِعِينَ الذين يظنون أنهم ملاقو ربهم وأنهم إليه راجعون. صدق الله العظيم. Allah says in translation, and persevere with patience and persevere with patience and justice, and this is hard, except for those who come with a humble spirit and know that they belong to God, and to God is their return. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, and congratulations again to Imam J.D. Hall. Our next award is a Faith Cultural Award, and it goes to Brian Takeda, a fellow Muir alum. Brian Takeda serves as president of Affinity Associates, a promotional products, marketing, and program management business in Monrovia. He has been extremely active in the Japanese American community. Since 1986, he has held leadership positions with the Pasadena Japanese Cultural Center. He has helped start numerous organizations and programs in the Japanese American community, as well as served on many boards. His list of community activities and achievements adds new meaning to the word extensive. He holds the rank of Yonden, I hope I did that correctly, 4th degree black belt in Kendo, and was a member of the U.S. Kendo team at the 1976 World Championships in London. I think maybe I should call him Mr. Takeda Sir with that ability. He earned his BA in economics from UCLA. Please join me in welcoming and congratulating Brian Takeda.
Thank you, Danny. Wow. I'm truly humbled to be honored by the NAACP and to be among such great community leaders. The work of these incredible individuals inspires us all and positively impacts the lives of our communities. Thank you so much for all that you guys have done. Thank you. I'd also like to extend my sincere appreciation to the NAACP Dinner Committee, to Alan Edson, to Juanita for all your hard work, and all the hard-working volunteers who made this evening possible. Your dedication and commitment makes it possible for the NAACP to continue the all-important work of strengthening and bringing our communities together. And also, congratulations to the Pasadena NAACP for 100 years of serving our community. It is truly, truly a great accomplishment, and all of Pasadena can be proud and grateful for your tremendous work. One thing Danny forgot to mention in my biography was that I was a cheerleader at John Muir High School, class of '73. The sweater doesn't fit right now. But with that, I'd like to cheer on the NAACP to another 100 years of fighting for equality as we embrace diversity, of striving for human dignity as we work for prosperity, of preserving our history while we educate the uneducated, and for living in harmony as we pursue peace. Thank you.
Definitely have to love the show and tell. That's a good touch. A couple of quick housekeeping announcements. One, the silent auction is closed. Secondly, anyone who has one of these green save the date cards at your setting, or at your seat, you will be entitled to a swag bag. So just be aware of that. Our next honoree is Rabbi Marvin Gross, who is receiving a Faith Cultural Award. Right here, right? Rabbi Marvin Gross has successfully served as a nonprofit executive, congregational rabbi, community and political organizer, fundraiser, and social justice advocate. 2016, he retired after 21 amazing years as CEO of Union Station Homeless Services, the largest such agency in San Gabriel Valley. During his tenure, Union Station achieved unprecedented levels of growth and service provision. He has served congregations in San Francisco and Glendale as a Reformed rabbi. He serves the community in numerous volunteer capacities. His education includes Amherst College, Hebrew Union College, Jewish Institute of Religion, Hebrew University in Jerusalem, and the Stanford School of Business Executive Program for Nonprofit Leaders. Please join me in welcoming Rabbi Marvin Gross.
Thank you so much, Danny, and thank you, Alan Edson and Juanita West Tillman, and all of you here tonight. You know, for those of us in the Jewish world, this is a big week. Monday was Rosh Hashanah, the new year. It's the year 5780, and this is the biggest New Year's party I've ever been to. So I want to thank you. I'm truly honored to be one of the honorees along with all of the other honorees tonight. It's a distinguished group of people who have contributed so much to this community, and I'm particularly proud to be honored at the time that my friend and colleague Pablo Alvarado is also honored. We've worked together and will continue to do that way into the future. It's wonderful to have everyone here. To my colleagues from Union Station, I particularly want to recognize Ms. Helen Renner, who I hope she's still here now. When I came to Union Station in 1995, Helen ran the kitchen, and we served about 100,000 meals a year at that time, and she ran a tight ship and was a fantastic person and a great friend and a stalwart member of Victory Bible Church. When she came in tonight, I was so thrilled to see her. I'm so happy to have here over about 24 members of Pasadena Jewish Temple and Center who all work with me on our social justice committee, and they came to support this event. I'm delighted to have my fellow members of POP, Pasadenans Organizing for Progress here, and I'm especially delighted to have my youngest child, my daughter Becky, here, and her mother-in-law Sharon Scott as well. First, I want to say congratulations to Jordan Patton. You talked to him about your future, and he's not only your future, he's my future as well. And if I didn't feel that way, I'd have no business being here, because the underlying message is we're all in this together. The Torah teaches us that the one God created all humanity, and in the Jewish tradition we talk as though the divine spark exists within each and every human soul, and that means that every human being must be treated with dignity and respect because they're the repository of the touch of God. And therefore it means that we work together. It means that we're all united. It means that we have to stand together to achieve the goals that our society, one way or another, presents toward us. At this time, it's unfortunate, but as been mentioned really from this microphone tonight, we live at a time of division and of hatred and of racism and white supremacy and anti-Semitism and other problems. But if we stay together, if we work together, if we celebrate the common humanity that brings us together, there's very little that can't be accomplished, because this is what we want to do. So I salute the NAACP and its great celebration of 100 years here in this community working for justice and civil rights and equality. May you continue from strength to strength and grow and be strong as an organization until the day comes when a civil rights organization is no longer needed in America, because we'll all be equal, have equal opportunity, equal education, equal health care, and equal ability to realize the potential that God gave us from the moment we were born, no matter our background, our race, our religion, our color, because we're all the children of God. That is the belief that has inspired me throughout my life and all the different things I've had the privilege to do. So in conclusion, I would just say I am proud to stand with the NAACP. I'm proud to stand with the immigrants in our community and aid them somehow in their struggles to achieve a life that a lot of us already have. I stand with the homeless and the marginalized and the hungry, and I'm so proud and inspired because I know that we all stand together. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Marvin Gross. Our second to last next award is another Faith Cultural Award. It goes to Reverend Kerwin Manning. Pastor Kerwin L. Manning serves as the head coach, senior pastor at the multiracial, multi-ethnic Pasadena Church. Under his leadership, Pasadena Church feeds over 15,000 meals per week. Wow. He also established Future in Focus, a nonprofit dedicated to ensuring children reach their full potential and destiny. He volunteers throughout the community. After he and his wife and partner in ministry, Madeline, lost their 14-year-old daughter, Morgan, in 2017, they established a Peace of My Heart Foundation. which brings awareness, funds research, and supports the families of those suffering from CPVT, a rare heart condition. He received his BA in religion from Anderson University. Please join me in welcoming Reverend Kerwin Manning.
I don't know, following Rabbi Marv. That's a tough assignment. If any of you ever seen it's a comedy clip of the man who spoke after Dr. King. You've got to find it, you've got to look at it. But I just want to say thank you to the NAACP of Pasadena for recognizing me, and just to be here with all of these esteemed honorees. It's just amazing to be on the platform and just to share this honor with them. I want to first of all thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. The psalmist says, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise will continually be in my mouth. My soul will make its boast in the Lord. The humble will hear of it and be glad. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. Can you just pause with me and let's just give the Lord a praise for the NAACP for 100 years of serving our community and being there. Being there is half of the battle. 18 years ago, the Lord called me to this community. My assignment, as I heard him speak to my heart, was to be genuine, to be faithful, to be available, and to love the hell out of people. All of the pastors and faith leaders in our community, I'm accepting this honor on their behalf because we collectively love this community and we're committed to you. I am one of many who decided several years ago to stop the infighting and fussing and to pray and seek God's wisdom and blessing for our city. We agreed to collectively begin to see our entire city as our congregation. So if you ask any of the pastors around here how big our church is, that's what pastors ask each other when we get together. We will probably tell you around 180,000 because that represents greater Pasadena with Altadena included. I'm thankful for the Clergy Community Coalition, the CCC, which I serve as president, and the community partners that come every month together so that we can hear what the Lord is saying about our community and we can respond in a way that's going to benefit the quality of life of all people. I'm so thankful for my church family, Pasadena Church, the church with no limits. I've got some of my church folk here today. Y'all just make some noise. A few of my pastors and leaders. They have just given me the green light to be able to serve our community without wondering what's happening on the home front. Many times having to neglect some of the things that I should be doing at home and at our church, but they cover me because they recognize how important it is to serve our city. So I'm so thankful for the Lord sending me to Pasadena Church. In the thanks category, I cannot stand here without thanking my darling wife, Madeline, my partner in ministry. I share this honor with you, sweetheart. And to our rising freshman, Madison, who was at Howard University, the Mecca of HBCUs. To our angel waiting in heaven for us, Morgan. My grandfather lived to be 104 years old, so I celebrate these who have reached that plateau, the 100 mark and above. And I love sitting by his side and gleaning so much that he would share that fuels my passion for people and for change today. He helped me to become keenly aware of who I am, and I know that I am and that we are standing on the shoulders of those who have gone before us, marching, sitting in, fighting, and even dying that we might have a future. And I've always been aware and felt the weight in my heart saying, we cannot let them down. It's our responsibility to continue to advance, and with God's help, we will, and we will win. In his final sermon before being murdered, Dr. King made a statement that continues to remind me of the reason why I do what I do. He said, "I just want to do God's will." That personally resonates in my heart, and I too, all I want to do is God's will. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Reverend Manning. And last but not least, Joe Brown, and I just want you to know, we have a little something for you too. So Joe Brown will be receiving the John Wright Leadership Award. Our amazing group of honorees ends as it began, with a native of Arkansas and a pillar of this community. He was appointed as a 5th LA County Supervisorial District Commissioner for the Department of Social Services, and he chaired the At-Risk Youth and Gang Members Committee, which recommended 5 policy changes that were adopted. He successfully teamed with other officers to combat Section 8 housing discrimination in Antelope Valley, which was leaving marginalized residents unnecessarily homeless. He and other commissioners continue to work to reduce homelessness in LA County. His accomplished past includes so many distinctions. He's a past NAACP president. He's a retired Pasadena U.S. Postal Supervisor. He's a U.S. Army veteran, Pasadena Police Academy graduate, ordained deacon, and on and on and on. His college career began at Arkansas Baptist College and continued at Cal State LA. I have to also add that every time I see Mr. Brown, he mentions about health food and what he's eating, or tells me, please don't tell my wife I had some cookies, and just constantly letting me know he's trying to do the right thing on the health tip. And so, Mr. Brown, I have a couple of things I wrote. One is an anti-cancer general nutrition suggested list of tips and pointers, a list of healthy substitutions and variations, and what I call environmental health considerations. And what that means in plain language is using organic, natural, personal care items, cleaning solutions, pesticides, and herbicides, and that'll help you to be less toxin and toxic laden. And as one more bit of your introduction, you have been an amazing resource for this community. You have helped the whole spectrum of the Pasadena area. You have helped resolve disputes. You've been a source of abilities to find solutions to problems that seemed intractable, and just generally been for so many a bridge over troubled water. And Aretha is going to remind you that you are a bridge over troubled water with a little snippet.
Well, I brought my grandson up here because he just came in from Philadelphia along with my son Bernard. And before, I guess, the time changed, they'll be back on the airplane going back to Philadelphia. But you know, you train up a child in the way you want him to go. And so with my son, my grandson here, we do want to bring him up so that he began to see what it really is going to be like when he's in a manhood. Now, having said all of that, I'm really grateful on tonight for being acknowledged to receive this award. But I said award because each of you are my honorees. It takes a community, in fact, to stand with a person for 12 long years to endure some of the hardships. But the best way for me to put it is, I never would have made it without each of you. I've got enough sense to know it, enough humility to know that if you don't begin to get support for some of the ideas and the visions you have, you won't be around long. And people will ask that same old question, where's the beef? What are you really all about? And so I got a lot of my spiritual growth and development from my pastor and those who are sitting on that table in the back. Would you all stand? All those pastors back there. Pastor Tyrone Skinner. Thank you. I know I'm in good company with some imams and the priests and the rabbi, but these are the people who give me spiritual guidance and spiritual uplift. Now, not only that, but my wife, who's been around me for 51 years, Yvonne. I certainly know many of you are here after many years being on the front line, but I want to thank you. Once again, without your support, I never would have made it. I never would have made it. And the truth and the reality of it is that any of those who walked across this dais, when we're really honest with ourselves, leadership is action. Leadership is having fellowship. And I called you not only our honorees because of your support, but your continued participation long after I'm gone, which is the only indication that maybe the vision that God had given us was not too bad after all. Thank you again for the many years of support. We're still around. We're doing things on a different level. For Supervisor Catherine Barger, I know many people all over Los Angeles County, but it wasn't because of me. It's only because somebody over on that back table back there, one of them is led by Pastor Tyrone Skinner, and continue to pray and support me. Thank you so much for all of your years of support. God bless you.
Mr. Joe Brown speaks with power and passion clearly, and we thank him for that. That concludes our list of 14 amazing honorees. Our last couple of things, very briefly, we will have closing remarks from President Alan Edson, and I might be talking. And then we will have the benediction from Rabbi Marvin Gross. And then, to help work off your dinner, you might go across the hall and get your groove on for a few quick minutes. So, Alan, please, it's you.
I want to quickly say thank everyone here in attendance. This has been a beautiful evening. My heart's still beating hard. As I wrote the program, you know, the thing that's been with me all day is a line from a song by the Pointer Sisters. The song is, I'm so excited, I can't fight it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. And before I go, I want to give this beautiful bouquet of flowers to the chair of the RMW committee, Juanita West Jones.
Back in them.
Well, where's Michael? Wait, Michael. This picture.
Oh, quick picture. Okay, quick. Tilt them forward. Like that, lower. Perfect.
And if you're so willing, we're going to have some dancing, if you like. You can dance in place, move in place, across the hall. Please come and enjoy yourself.
Benediction.
My friends, please stand for the final benediction. Dear gracious and loving God of us all, we ask that you bless the Pasadena branch of the NAACP and its members and leaders so that they may continue their work, their holy work for civil rights and justice in Pasadena. We ask that you bless our elected officials and leaders with wisdom and insight and a continued ability to listen to their constituents. We ask that you bless our community with peace brotherhood and sisterhood, prosperity. We ask that you bless all those here and their loved ones with health, fulfillment, and good fortune in the days and months ahead. We ask that you bless our nation, that hatred, animosity, and division will be replaced soon and in our day by compassion, understanding, and love. We thank you, dear God, for all the blessings you have bestowed upon us. And together we say, Amen.